Konnichiwa! Welcome to Uzumaki Garage. This is the final episode of the chassis legs and crossmember replacement and floor pan restoration. In the last episode I installed the new chassis legs onto the white Evo VI project car. And in this video I'll set the position of the new crossmember against the floor between the chassis legs. I'll be using a Dremel gauge to make sure it's exactly where it needs to be before welding it in place. And I'll also find the position and weld on the exhaust hangers. Then I'll spray on some more Epoxy Primer, followed by De Beers 2K Polyurethane in a white gloss. The crossmember needs to go snug against the floor between the chassis legs. These are the old chassis legs, and I'm using a Dremel gauge to measure between the centre of this point on the right leg to the centre of the closest fuel tank mounting bolt. With this distance locked into the Dremel gauge, I get under the car and move the crossmember left and right to match with the Dremel gauge. When the Dremel gauge points are perfectly centered on the fuel tank mounting bolts, I hold the crossmember in place and use masking tape and a felt pen to mark its position on the floor. Then I remove the crossmember and prepare the lap joint with 2 coats of copper weld-through primer. After the weld-through primer has dried, I push the crossmember back on the car. And just to make sure, I'm taking another measurement now between the same chassis leg hole as before to the middle of the small hole in the centre of the crossmember. The distance is 420mm, so I'll lock down the Dremel gauge again and check that measurement under the car. Now I'm drilling through the floor and the chassis legs so I can weld through the holes onto the crossmember, which will reduce the number of upside down welds I have to do under the car. I'm removing some primer with the belt sander to make the MIG welding start easier, and it'll make a cleaner weld too. I do some panel beating to make sure the trunk floor is sitting flat against the crossmember, and then tack weld them together. After a lot of tack welds on top, I climb underneath and do all the welds to join the new crossmember to the chassis legs here. Then I welded the front side of it, and then 4 plug welds from underneath. It's looking pretty good, and I'm finally getting used to the new welder. I'm trying to minimise the heat by using compressed air. With the crossmember supported from underneath, I'm tack welding the trunk floor to the crossmember, and I tap the floor down where needed, and then moving on to the next hole. Eventually the back row is all welded, but I'm not trying to hide the repair, so I won't grind it flat to match the floor. I'll leave them sitting a bit high, like a big flat rivet. And this shot shows the weld penetration is good. I removed the exhaust hangers from the old chassis legs and tidy them up on the bench grinder, clamped them in place and welded them on the chassis legs. After the welding is finished, I sand the painted areas with 220 grit and the bare metal areas with 80 grit sandpaper. Then I blow down with compressed air and clean with wax and grease remover. Then I mix up 200 ml of epoxy primer with activator and reducer and spray on 2 coats following the TDS. The fresh epoxy primer is less than 5 days old, so it doesn't need to be sanded as it'll have a good chemical bond. But the older epoxy areas I sand with 320 grit paper where I could, or red Scotch-Brite where it was too intricate. Then I clean with wax and grease remover. Then I masked off the whole car, including the front floor pan and engine bay, and all the threaded holes and studs I don't want painted. And following the TDS, I sprayed on 2 coats of 2K polyurethane gloss white. Underneath is now looking amazing, and I'm really happy how it's turned out. And there was just enough paint left over to paint the trapdoors in the cabin. But I'll need to come back and apply the seam sealer. So now it's time to work on the inside of the trunk and the beaver panel. I used a wire wheel over all the new welds, and now I'm sanding all the good painted areas with 240 grit and 80 grit everywhere it's bare metal or a bit rough. After many hours of sanding, vacuuming and blowing down with compressed air, I cleaned with wax and grease remover, masked off the cabin from the inside and the floor pan from behind the beaver panel. I mixed 300 ml of epoxy primer with activator and reducer and sprayed on 2 coats with the little SRI spray gun. The epoxy primer looks fantastic, and it's a relief to get this section fully protected from the wet weather that's forecast for next week. But hopefully I can work on the car again tomorrow and apply the seam sealer and finish off the painting with the 2K white paint. The following day I applied seam sealer where the floor joins the strut towers and the beaver panel. And I put some here too, where the spare wheel is bolted down. Then I gave the seam sealer 2 light coats of Transtar 2-in-1 primer. And then I masked up the whole car more thoroughly than yesterday, as the white paint overspray gets everywhere compared to primer. I mixed up 300 ml of white 2K paint with activator and thinners and sprayed 2 coats in the trunk and the beaver panel. The white 2K paint looks fantastic. It's hard to believe that this is the same car as before. Now I'm finishing off the trapdoors in the cabin, but as I painted here 2 weeks ago, I first need to scuff up the paint with Scotch-Brite. I'm using this plastic spreader like a squeegee so I can get the seam sealer right into the joints. And now I'm adding a generous coating of seam sealer on top and smoothing it down with the plastic spreader. And I'm also using seam sealer to stick down this piece of sound deadener that I had to remove before. And while the seam sealer was still tacky, I gave it 2 coats of Transtar 2-in-1 primer, followed by 2 coats of gloss white 2K polyurethane. Now I'm doing the final steps to the chassis legs in the wheel arches. First I'm scuffing up the cured paint so the seam sealer will stick properly. Now I'm cleaning the rest of the wheel arch. I'm using red Scotch-Brite and compressed air. And now I'm cleaning with wax and grease remover. Now I'm applying masking tape so the edge of the seam seal on the chassis leg will be neat. I folded some masking tape over onto itself to make a masking tape soft edge so the paint fades off gradually from the seam sealer to the chassis leg. And to protect the floor pan from overspray, I continued with masking film down to the ground. I'm sealing between the chassis leg and the wheel arch using seam sealer. First I'm using a fine tip to fill the gap with sealer, then I use a spreader to press it firmly into the joint. I'm generously adding more seam sealer and spreading it to match the original OEM sealer. After I did the right side and waited for the seam sealer to firm up, I removed its masking tape. I'm applying several light coats of aerosol satin black paint to match the original OEM look. And after the paint has dried, it'll soften up to a nice satin black finish. So that's the end of the Evo chassis leg series, but there's still a lot to do on this Evo 6, so click subscribe and notify to see what happens next. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching.